Hello and welcome to this new part of Super Danganronpa Another 2. Last time we had the parade and a budget surprise waiting for us here at this shrine. Sora is a widow now.
Did you see why I didn't comment when you said that earlier? There are so many things that you've been saying throughout this playthrough that I just have been just biting my tongue not to comment on because some of it's on the nose or some of it's really situationally funny that you're calling shit before it happens and I'm just like, help. But yeah, the widow comment, it took everything in me not to be like
Alright.
Anyway,
then.
we just read the Monocro file,
Yep.
so let's fuck around with everyone else and find out.
I guess checking the body would be the first thing to do.
Setsuka's corpse that has been laid on the altar, it's been butchered to pieces. Ugh. I thought I had a pretty strong stomach. This is too much.
Why?
Hey, you don't have to force yourself. I'll cover the body for you. Okay. No, I appreciate the thought. Let me investigate as well. The more people that investigate, the easier the class trial will be. If you say so. Excuse me then. Setsuka's corpse was dismembered so that each part was on top of the altar, just as the Monocro file said. I didn't notice them before, but each pillar had the Chinese letter for each body part written on it. And the body parts were laid so that each letter matched accordingly. So they went along with this attraction gimmick. The sign in front of the altar said the following. Sacrifice the body of your most precious one, and the devil will be summoned to grant your wishes. I feel like the fact that it keeps re-highlighting this phrase points at the twins.
Yeah, but it doesn't point to Kanade in my opinion. Because
I'm just saying in general, the twins.
Sacrifice the body of your most precious one. I think Kanade would have disliked Setsuka more than anything.
Yeah, no, I know that. But I think she's still involved somehow. She's been too sus. Whether it's accomplished or otherwise, I think she is still. I cannot see Hibiki doing this by herself. Or willingly, for that matter.
It sure would have. It sure would be something if Hibiki was the one who dismembered her, yeah. It would be something.
It would be something indeed. There's no way that the killer actually believed this, right? Even if they did, butchering someone else's body is barbaric, disgusting, and simply inhumane. This was probably a copycat crime, just like with Kokuro's case in The Curse of the Yuki-onna. I decided to take a closer look at each body part, trying my best not to throw up while doing so. First, I looked at the chest area, laid in the center of the altar. The edges were trimmed off extremely clean. Even I could tell that this was a work of a professional. So we have a serial killer is what you were telling me. On cast. Monocro file mentioned the torso being
missing, sorry.
It's alright. And sure enough, so it was. Her stomach below the solar plexus was completely missing. It doesn't seem like they hid it somewhere else in here. And where did the culprit put it? Why did they only take the torso away? It seemed pointless to worry about that now, so I moved on the other parts. Come to think of it, there was another detail about the corpse that the Monocro file mentioned. Bruises. There were traces of bruises on each body part. As I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert on this matter. The bruises raise a new question. The murder weapon was something sharp, so the bruises weren't the direct cause of Setsuka's death. That would mean that after Setsuka died, or just before she died, the culprit for some reason damaged each body part to cause bruises. What caused those bruises? This could be crucial evidence. I looked into the corpse for a few minutes more, but I wasn't able to find any more notable details. That, and I wasn't able to investigate the body anymore in its horrifying state. Are you alright? I told you not to overwork yourself. I'm fine. I just can't gloss over the body when there's a class trial coming up, right? That aside, you became very friendly, Nikkei, even if we're on a truce. It feels like you've reverted back to when we first met. Well, the situation called for it. Why is there a problem with that? No. Thanks. I'll go and search for the other areas. If you guess any part of this case for the end of this, I'll be incredibly impressed because this case drove me insane.
Alrighty then. Don't have too high expectations.
It's such a mess. Shobai, are you investigating the body? By the way, it's nice to see you investigate. And to the last trials, anyway. Hey, could you move? I'm trying to think here. Why is he suddenly investigating? Sleeping last time. Probably because all the other cases were like him and done by amateurs. Well, this one seems to be have been done by a serial killer. And so he's like, I need to actually pay attention and try.
Yeah, I don't think he can get away with sleeping.
I think he's worried that like the rest of the cast won't carry him through the trial this time, and he actually has to if he wants to survive. Damn it! Okay, how goes the investigation? Well, I'm not exactly knowledgeable enough to do an autopsy. What's Shobai doing? I don't know. He's silent. I wonder what he's thinking.
Hello, Mikado. What the heck are you?
My boy. She died in such a dreadful terror. Even I feel disgusted by this horror. Your face says otherwise. What meanings do faces have to a person like me? I guess it's because Mikado's not just trash, but a psychopath that he can't empathize in this situation. Sora, I think you forgot to say that in blue font. I love their dynamic so fucking much.
Oh my god.
I'm going to cry. That was funny.
Yeah, that's...
She is so incredibly savage. I love her.
Fourth wall break.
Her and Mikado both do it, and it's great. She's not vibing.
No.
Beaky. She's no one's home. No one's home, Sora. Leave it alone. Hibiki has been in this state since entering the haunted house. She can hear me. Nobody's home. Iroha, what are you doing?
Oh, Sora. Well, this is a crime scene, so it must have the most amount of clues, right? So I was trying to investigate this place, but with Setsuka's body over there and the smell of blood.
You don't have to force yourself to search here, Aroha. As Nikkei said, leave this place to us and investigate some other places in the meantime.
No, I'll do what I can. The ghost house seems to be the key place in this case. That reminds me, I saw Hibiki entering this place just before, and...
Hibiki? I thought she was resting in her room today.
I don't know about that, but I saw her when she was heading to the Mirror Mansion at 6 p.m.
Interesting.
Is this gonna be a sus competition with the twins?
To meet up with Setsuka. She was using her handbook to enter this place. What's wrong, Sarah?
Nothing, it's just that what you said might prove to be crucial evidence to this case.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense for Hibiki to have come here at all.
Yeah, but also, Kanade is being sus too.
Yeah.
Both twins being real sus right now. Thank you, and don't force yourself to investigate the body. You can take care of things. You can, Aroha.
Okay. Thanks for being so considerate, Sarah.
Hibiki entering the haunted house, and even before the parade meeting of all times. Was she just entering this place for no reason, or was she...
Too bad we can't
Alright,
ask her.
Teria, my guy. Teria. Huh? Sora? What's wrong? Well, I was wondering if you knew anything about the case. Especially since you weren't with us throughout today, along with a few others. I feel sorry about that, but I didn't find a clue about your innocence yet. I'll come back once I fully regain my memories and learn the truth about you. That's all good, but the class trial comes first. Ah, you're right. Actually, there was something weird that happened while I was doing the item check today. I was doing my daily checkup for each area this morning. Something was off about the infirmary. Missing blood bags? Missing blood bags? Missing blood bags? You know that they keep blood packs in the refrigerator there, yeah? Well, somebody took them all. All of them? Yeah, just yesterday they were all definitely there. That's not all. The medical kit with the bandages, ointment, and antibiotics. Somebody took all of that as well.
Huh.
That's interesting. When I came back this afternoon, they were all back in their place. Oh, so the first aid kit was back, but the blood packs are gone. The blood was definitely used here.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did they need the first aid kit? The blood packs were still missing? Yeah, I was gonna tell you guys right away. With the motive yesterday night, I wasn't in my right mind to tell you. If I knew a murder like this would happen this soon, I would have told you immediately.
My friend, you...
Wait, so, hold on. So, the blood packs have been missing since last night? Is that what he was saying? Calm down. There's no proof that the culprit used those blood packs, so don't blame you. So don't blame yourself. If the medical kit was returned soon after, maybe someone other than the culprit needed it for a moment? You're being considerate as always. Thanks, but I feel like this might be related to the case, so maybe my account could help us out in the trial. For someone to take the blood packs, could it be the work of the culprit? It may be important, so I should write this down. Pat Terria's head for being so useful. Anyway, now we go investigate other things, because it goes well beyond this room.
Of course it does.
Yeah, this case is wild. It's the fuse box that produces the electricity for the whole ghost house. Oh, this is... Inside, all the electric wires were cut. So this is why the haunted house had a blackout. Although right now, emergency electricity is flowing thanks to Monocro. The person who cut these must be the culprit. This could be used as evidence. I must write this down. Alright then. It's the fireplace. There was a small bonfire lit here originally. That burned out with the blackout. Somebody did this to get rid of all the sources of light from the house. The fireplace obviously is connected to the chimney horizontally and acts as a way to rid the smoke inside. It's quite small. I looked inside the fireplace just in case. The smell of ashes and dust welcomes my face. The fireplace itself is quite large, but the chimney's inside is quite long and short. No Santa is making his way to deliver presents through this small chimney path. Huh? As I was checking the chimney, I was able to find something totally unexpected. What are these? Black plastic bags?
For the blood packs, probably?
There were some used black plastic bags thrown away amongst the firewood. I almost didn't notice it with it being black and this place being so dark. Was this always here? Today was the first and only time that the fire was put out. It was... If that were here before, it would have already melted from the fire. And also you would smell burning plastic, I'll be honest, because it's not a pleasant smell and it is very... it's very poignant. Anyway. Perhaps these are traces left by the culprit? This looks like crucial evidence.
Is there anything else around here? Oh, yeah.
Apparition. It's a folding screen with an ominous picture reminiscent of hell itself. Huh? Hold on a minute. Did it always located this up front? Feeling that something was off, I checked behind the screen. Oh. The folding was originally located right next to the... It was moved a bit out forward. Oh, so it was extended. And in that space, there was a space big enough to fit a human being, but more importantly, this blood. There was a large pool of blood in the space behind the folding screen. So much that it would make large sloshes when stepped on. What does this mean? For there to be this much blood behind this hidden space behind the screen? On closer inspection, all the blood trails leading up to the altar originated from this place. Was the folding screen like this when we were searching for... I guess I didn't check thoroughly with this place being so dark. Even now with the dim light, it was hard to notice it until I got real close to it. But one thing was for sure, there was enough space for someone to hide behind the screen. Folding screen. I should write this down.
Suspicious.
Yeah. Right. So I think we have to go outside now.
Oh, it's
around.
dark.
Shinji, what are you doing?
Whoa. Sora, investigating hard as usual?
Could you stop doing that? It makes me feel like I'm some sort of big boss of a Yakuza clan.
Sorry about that. I was looking into the gate records.
Gate records?
Yeah, Yuki told me that with this island we can keep track of our alibis using the gate records. I didn't fully understand what he meant by that, so I was looking into it. Yuki's got the better brain between us, so I've got to listen to him. But as you can see, I'm not good with machines. I barely even use the handbooks.
Gate records. Yuki has a point. After all, the murder definitely seems like it happens inside Satsuki land. And although our names don't show up, we can try to validate our alibis using the shown on it.
Yep.
I'll help you out.
Thank you. If you push the panel here, the screen does show up, but...
You need to slide the screen, like so. See? You get a record of all the people who pass the gates for each day.
Whoa! The technology these days is amazing.
Shinji, you were giving such boomer energy right now. Amazing. Even mobile phones these days all have at least this level of technology. Have you been living under a rock? Yeah, she's calling him a boomer.
I'm sorry. I don't know much about this stuff.
Let's see, for today's records... Interesting.
That's a lot of ints. Very little
It is.
outs.
Yeah.
I mean, we can assume that some of them are because when we discovered the body, the gate was unlocked. So everyone that discovered the body would then not have an out.
I think the one you need to pay attention to, though, is the top one.
Ah yeah, I wasn't even looking at the timestamps.
Yeah. If you look at the top one and the time they left, they were there for a long time. Because we remember with Yuki, when you scan it, it keeps that barcode. It only shuffles it after, like, you check out. So if you went through again, yeah, it would shuffle your code again, but not before you leave. Which means there was someone in there for 2 hours. And we can assume that the one that was in and out really quick was Sora.
Yeah.
Because she went in to investigate and then left pretty quickly when she saw nothing was there. And then we see one code here with an in but no out. So we can assume that's Setsuka.
Probably.
So the top one is likely whoever the murderer was. Left shortly after Sora did. Interesting. This piece of evidence tends to mess people up because they don't think about it at first. So I wanted to highlight it.
Yeah, that has a lot of details to it.
It does. Yeah, and everyone after the outs are likely everyone who came in to investigate.
Yeah. So only the first... the first screen, so to say, is the important one.
Yeah, the one on the left.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, considering what happened today, there isn't much new info about it. The 4 records listed at 9:58 are the back when you, Yuki, Kanade, and I were searching for Setsuka.
Oh, you're right. And the gate system was turned off after the body was found, so we were the last people to enter this place recording by this.
Yeah, that's also why 1, there's no outs, and 2, there's no new ins, is because they shut off the gates after the BDA.
Then we should take note of these 5 records between 1755 to 1942.
Well, the ID here that went inside at 1924 and went out at 1936, that's gotta be me. So we only have to check the other 3.
That's you? How can you be so sure when your name doesn't show up?
Even if it's just the ID, I do remember the time that I went inside. I mean, it's only been an hour since then. This was back when we had to split up to search for Setsuka. She was only in there for 12 minutes, so there was no way she could have done all this. Like, we know she didn't do it, but
Yeah.
like, that's alibi enough. She wasn't in there long enough to do this shit.
And on the other hand, someone was there for a long-ass time who could have had the time for this.
Yeah, over 2 hours. Someone was in there for over 2 hours.
I see.
Though that couldn't have been Kanade.
Yeah, likely not Kanade. Since Kanade was with us.
Yeah.
Sora, did you see anyone while you were inside the haunted house?
No, no one actually. There wasn't anyone, nor any blood trails and corpses for that matter. If there was, I would have told you immediately. Please believe me on this.
No, it's not that I don't believe you. But by these records, you went out at 1936, and somebody else had gotten out of the ghost house 6 minutes later.
Yeah.
So that would mean that there was somebody inside when you had entered the ghost house back then.
She's like, the fuck? You're right. The ID WN2LB7. This person went inside at 17:05. So that would mean this person stayed inside during 1955 and 1755 and 1942 for almost 2 hours.
Well, that must have been Eva Hibiki. Well, it must have been Hibiki.
Yeah,
And since
I'm
that's-
thinking
And Sets-
Hibiki, since the timestamp under it was definitely Setsuka, since there is no outstamp for it.
Yep, however, there is also a chance. I mean, this ID depends on the handbook, yeah?
Mhm.
What if the
does.
culprit just took Setsuka's ID out? Handbook out.
Well, remember that, like, in order to scan to enter, like, it doesn't matter how many people, each person has to scan to enter. So, it's definitely a scan for Setsuka, and definitely a scan for whoever the murderer, likely Hibiki, sus is there for the moment.
No.
So, like, you would have to make the you would have to make the conscious effort to scan her in to get her through the gate.
I guess it wouldn't matter anyway, since their timestamps are so close together.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyway. But I didn't find anyone there.
I'm the only one who's getting the chills here. So that ID must be the culprit's, right? The culprit must have entered the ghost house at some point. So they must have hid themselves somewhere inside when you came in.
Is that so? I guess I could have missed someone with the blackout and everything.
Now Hibiki is too obvious.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's why I'm like, To be honest, to me, this case feels like it's too much.
Too much.
Even with the idea of it being a serial killer, it feels like it's too much for a person.
So if we go over it one last time, WN2LB7 is the culprit who entered at 1755 to leave at 1942. HG01B8, who entered at 1924 to leave 12 minutes later, is you. Then what about KU5P101, who entered at 7057? What about this person? There is no out record of them.
That's probably Setsuka. If the case happened at the ghost house, and if Setsuka died here, there will be no out time for her, right?
Right, Setsuka.
But one thing I don't understand is, according to these records, both Setsuka and the culprit should have been inside the ghost house when I entered there. I'm positive I gave quite a thorough search inside there. I think they were behind the Parisian. It's the only spot that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even if there's a blackout, could I really have missed 2 people? If that's true, then I could have stopped Setsuka's death while I was in there.
Sora, please don't make such a face. It's not your fault. Anyways, we need to catch the culprit who did such a terrible thing. No, we must catch them.
Oh, Shinji, are you trying to cheer me up? How sweet of you.
You know, what if...
Yeah?
what if Kanade somehow got Hibiki to do to like kill Setsuka in terms because Hibiki really wanted to know what happened to mom and dad, but it didn't really matter if she actually like survived the class trial. So she, I don't know, man. Some weird ass fucking shit.
Like I said, this case is a headache.
Because I'm sure this whole thing about not having to survive the class trial is gonna be important in a way. Kanade didn't have a reaction, Hibiki did have a very strong reaction. I'm sure it's gonna have some kind of effect on what the heck is going on here. And also this whole...
Yeah.
Sacrifice a precious person.
Yeah, see, they said that part 3 times. Which shoehorns like, hey, it's Hibiki, hey, it's Hibiki, hey, it's Hibiki, but also at the same time, that's very obvious. And I can tell you for a fact that this case is incredibly complicated.
We'll see, I guess.
Thanks, you're right. I've got to do my best for Setsuka's sake. My wife would not want me sulking.
Yep.
These gates records will probably be important evidence in this case. I should definitely write this down. Yeah.
Alright, Sora. There was something I wanted to ask you.
Yes, what is it?
I was going to visit a swimming pool during the daytime to take my mind off things, and the pool at C Block was prohibited from entering. So I was wondering if you knew anything about it.
Prohibited for entering? What do you mean? First time I've heard of such a thing.
Well, there was a picket saying that it was against the rules to use the pool when it was time for pool sanitations. But when we were searching for Setsuka, that picket had been taken down.
Then wasn't it just the case... And wasn't it just the case that it was just pool sanitation time when you went there?
But until yesterday we had used the swimming pool without anything of that being brought up. So I thought it felt all too sudden.
Oh, it felt sus. Understandable.
Yeah.
Alright then, I'll investigate more Block A in the meantime.
Pool. Shinji's words do have a point. I should go there and investigate that place as well. That's all the way in blocks. That's all the way across the what?
Yep.
Okay, so we got Yoriko and then whatever this exclamation point is.
A flower bed.
It's the flower bed decorated next to the haunted house. I doubt there would be anything worth investigating out here. Something was just shining in the bushes. Is this a clothespin? Or a hair clip? Shining thing in the was a pin of some sort, probably to hold something. There were multiple of them on the ground, and were scattered as if something had tried to hide them in here. Why would there be pins in a flower bed? With this place being quite close to the crime scene, I doubt that this was just some coincidence. I don't know what they were used for. But they could be evidence. Let's keep them in mind. Alright, Ruko, do you have anything important to say?
Apparently not.
Yoriko?
Oh, Sora. Sorry, I wanted to investigate the ghost house, but the smell... That's too much for me to handle.
Anyone would be, but I had to. I had to make sure that I've investigated everywhere.
It was difficult for you too.
Absolutely. I'm a person too.
Alright.
Nothing useful whatsoever. Anyway. Oh, Yuki's down there.
Yuki is for some reason at the carousel.
Yuki, what are you investigating?
Oh, Sora, I was just checking the attraction board records one by one.
I heard it from Shinji. It would be easy to get alibis using the record.
He couldn't participate in the investigation of the ghost house too. This is nothing like Yuri and Kokoros. What kind of person would do this? So I have to do everything I can. Sora, check the records if you have time. Already did.
Yeah.
Alrighty, nothing.
You know something we have. You know, wait.
Hmm?
Before we go over to the next block, you know what connects block A and C? The tram. I think we should go look at the warehouse too.
Yeah, there is a red question explanation point.
These were dolls used for the parade. Despite their stupid looks, their performance during the parade was fabulous. Come to think of it, the dolls in Block A and C had switched places during the parade. Taking that fact into account, I decided to investigate the dolls inside the warehouse. These dolls must be the same ones outside the storage room, right? Does that mean if you program the dolls outside the garage, can also be made to move by themselves? Checked inside the dolls by opening the zipper on its back, but there was nothing inside. It's just an empty doll suit. What kind of mechanism would make it move on its own? I wonder if these can be used as evidence. Setsuka must have died around the time of the parade. That would mean that these dolls might be related to the case as well. So it wouldn't hurt to write them down.
You know, during this whole thing I was just thinking, man, I probably shouldn't write cases, because if this case is brutal, then I shouldn't write stuff like that, because my first thought was, when looking at these dolls, was, what if Setsuka's corpse was like backed up and like put in these dolls to transport them? I mean, like, that's very much possible.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's an exclamation point down at the schedule.
Oh, almost missed it. Red on brown is hard to see.
Yeah, it is. It's the sign about the monorails. Monorail station. Monorail stops for maintenance every other hour. Monorail will first start at 8 in the morning from Block B, and 5 minutes later, another one will take its departure in the opposite direction. The monorails aren't active during night times. The last train will be at 20 to 21 o'clock. Nothing special to note. The description matches exactly with the one that Monocro gave on the first day we arrived. It's unknown whether or not the culprit used the monorails, but crime did happen in Satsuki Lands. As long as that fact stands, we need to investigate every detail laid out in this whole place. So if we go over the timetables once more. Train takes off from Block B, and the 2 trains for each direction exists. The first train departs at 8 in the morning and operates for 1 hour before going into maintenance for the next hour. There's about a 5-minute gap between each train for each station. And it takes 15 minutes for the train to take a round trip. So once they take 4 round trips, the hour will be up and both trains will go into maintenance. In other words, the train operates at 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, or basically every other hour. It's a bit over 20 o'clock right now, so the last train of today is operating as of right now. There wasn't anything special to note here, so I should just write down the timetable and get over with it.
It's gonna come in somehow.
Yep.
And you know, I was kind of distracted while you read over the rules for the monorail, because there was one thing that came back into mind, is the fact that we did find black bags in the haunted house. They didn't have to be blood bags. They could have been used to transport the body parts inside the goddamn dolls.
Why do you think I changed pitch when you said that?
I did notice, yeah.
I was just like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, you got that part right.
Sometimes I like or hate
I
the
will
fact
give you
that
some confirmations when you get shit right for this case, because this case is a mess. All the others, easy clap.
well, I
Of course,
am. I love
nothing's going on in Block
Yeah.
B.
I hate and love the fact that sometimes just I get stuff right just by being like, wouldn't it be funky if this happened?
Does Lynn knows you're talking about? He lives on the funk.
The funk.
Okay, so the pool.
See.
Pool. According to Shinji, you couldn't enter during the daytime due to the pool sanitation. I guess since I'm already here, I could check the gate's records. Interesting.
Oh no, we have to like juggle multiple of these.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look at them again.
Yeah, in and out. One stayed there a long ass time.
Yeah.
And someone never came out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well.
Yeah, so the top one stayed there basically all fucking day. And interesting that timestamp is pretty close to before the timestamp in the haunted house. Because the first starter timestamp there was 1755.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we do have one where there was never an out punch.
Could it be that Setsuka was actually murdered here? Then basically brought out of here, then put in the storehouse and inside the dolls for the parade. Then the murderer probably took the monorail somehow. It's gotta be important somehow.
So let me levitate your brainworm a little more for a second. The monorail only runs for so long, right? It only goes back and forth 4 times. How many parts of Setsuka were there? 10? How many dolls were walking back and forth between the parade? What if they had to use both means of transportation in order to toss Setsuka? Because, and let me point something else out, the chimney. The chimney's fire has never been out before. It passes right over the haunted house.
And there's also still one part of Setsuka missing.
Mm-hmm. That likely was possibly too big to transport. It could just be left somewhere.
Whew.
Anyway. 5 total IDs, so up to 5 people had used the pool today. Out of these 5 records, the last one must be when we were searching for Setsuka. Yeah, so the in-out would be whoever was the last in-out was probably whoever was investigating at the time looking for Setsuka. Which was either Yoriko or Nikkei, because they were over here investigating. That would mean that 2 people entered at morning and went out about an hour later. If nobody entered since then due to the pool being closed... Huh? Wait a minute. 12:54. Someone entered during this time. This clearly contradicts with Shinji's account, of course.
Well...
And that was a 5-hour gap.
So...
It was a 5-hour gap,
yeah.
and it was during the closure. So, that was to dissuade anyone from interrupting, I assume.
Dismembering people takes time.
Yep. Shinji didn't mention the exact time, but simply referring to the time as daylight. I think it's safe to assume that 13:54 is in range of daytime, and it's supposed to be 12:54, but thank you, Sora. CN9FU3. Whoever this is, they entered at 12:54 and left at 17:25. So the sanitation process must have ended before then. I guess I need to ask Shinji when exactly he went to the pool. But the mystery didn't end there. NU30D2, who entered at 17:24. There are no records of this person leaving the pool. I thought that the person without the out records back at the ghost house must have been Satsuka. And why is there also an ID without an out record here in the pool?
Because this is probably the true crime scene.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The pool is also very, very well suited for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, well. Then the other out at the haunted house must have been probably a fake one made by the culprit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably... You know what they probably did?
Hmm?
If this is the true crime scene, they probably brought her monotab over there, used, like, her hands to unlock it, and then scanned it in order to do, like, a false, like, in-scan. And then, like, you know, yeah. This was 30 minutes before the parade had started. I should ask the others if there was anyone who entered the pool during this time. Yeah. Do another roster. Wow. Anyway, I think we can go inside. Oh, hello? What's this? I had accidentally kicked something while investigating the area. On a closer look, it was a bottle of some sort. Let's see here. Penicillin? Antibiotics?
Huh.
Why?
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised for a first aid kit to be used here because maybe the culprit hurt themselves.
It's either that
But
or something more convoluted. Because if someone injured themselves, we would have seen an injury on someone by now.
I mean, it
And
doesn't have to be a big one.
That's true, but no one's left any trace of injury or shown to like be acting strange enough to convey that they might be injured, is what I mean. Aren't these antibiotics? Why did they end up in a place like this? This should be back at the infirmary for them to be in such a place. And to top it off, it wasn't even an empty bottle, but an unopened new package.
Then it might have just fallen out.
It probably fell out of the kit when they were leaving to go put it back.
A weird thing to be inside a first aid kit, but
yeah, definitely. I mean, it came from the infirmary, I guess, but whatever. Yeah, it's not what you would keep in your typical first aid kit.
Yeah, apparently.
There wasn't even a needle to go with it. Just a full bottle lying around here like it's nothing.
A needle? Well, whatever.
I'm not... Penicillin's not usually something you take by the mouth, so I think this might be the injection kind. So I would not self-administer with any sort of needle, no thanks.
No.
I do not have the skill for that. There's no use thinking about it alone. I should write it down.
Unused bottle of
Oh, do we have all the evidence? Seems so. The investigation is going smoothly. I assume that enough time was given for everyone to be for everything to be inspected. The night is almost here. Let us start the fun before it gets too late. I will now open the trial gates. So everyone gather around the trial entrance on the floor of the monocruise. I don't think there's a need for me to mention this a third time, but participation is obligated. I will not allow being late or absent, so keep that in mind. Time's up already? This is bad. I don't think I have the slightest idea about this case. You do, Sora, it's fine.
Yeah, I think I have a rather solid idea about this one. Though I am still unsure how the very many details of the monorail are gonna fit in and all that, but
I genuinely believe that 2 people are involved in the murder. because there's no way one person could do all this.
Though the fact that everything was that the crime scene was most likely actually in the swimming pool definitely ruins Kanade's alibi.
Any alibis. Yep. It ruins any evening alibis. So anyone who had an alibi around 6, no, you don't.
Yep. More than
Anyway.
enough time.
Yeah. It's almost nighttime, as Monocro said. And if it gets too late, we might have to proceed a trial where everyone is sleeping. Well, for me, I did sleep through the whole day, so I'm fine,
By
but
the way, what's up with that?
we'll get to that. It comes up in the trial, don't worry about it.
Okay.
The announcement has been made, so there's no choice other than to head for the... What?
You are right there, Hibiki.
Hibiki, you're still here? The girl is gone mentally. She's not here anymore.
What is Kanade doing that she's just leaving without her?
Interesting, isn't it?
Hmm.
Get a hold of yourself, Hibiki. I know you're shocked, but you'll die if you don't make it through to the trial. Girl is gone. She's not home. Goodbye. No thoughts going on between those eyes.
Hmm.
There's Kanade when you need her. Did I just step on something, or... What? The thing I stepped on while I was approaching Hibiki was a hairpin. It looks quite familiar. It had the same shape as the 1/8 musical note. Hibiki's hairpins. Why is this? I mean, of course, the owner is right in front of me, duh. Hibiki, please wake up. Your hairpin was right here on the ground. Girl's gone. There's nothing there.
Hmm.
Really? Sora, it might be good if you slapped her this one time.
You can also just drag her.
Yeah, that too. Why should I be the one doing this? So this is how Kanade feels all the time. Hibiki, come on. Here, grab my hand. No thoughts. No thoughts. Zero brain power.
She's here.
Sora, why were you so late?
Sorry, I was trying to bring Hibiki here.
Hibiki? Sis, you abandoned her.
Just left her there. She's been standing still ever since she saw Setsu's corpse. I think she's had quite the shock. If I didn't bring her here, she might have stood there forever. I would imagine so. Setsuko was especially important to Mr. Big Sis emotionally, after all.
Kanade, she's your family, right? How could you just leave her and make Sora take all the responsibility? I thought she went ahead without me. I didn't think she would just stand there all the time.
Girl.
I don't really believe you.
More importantly, Kanade, please do something about this. If this goes on, she won't be able to participate in the trial at all.
Sis? It's alright. Come on, sis. Here's a good girl.
Sussy lines.
Yeah. You know I can solve anything for you. I'm always on your side. Everything's going to be fine, so just... forget everything. Clear your mind. Leave it all to me.
I see. This is pretty, Things that make you go,
Kanade!
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Rina? I know you're having thoughts.
Yeah, I'm just like... That sounds like Hibiki was the one who killed Setsuka, but Kanade is now taking responsibility for it, so... Hibiki can get away scot-free.
Mm,
But God knows, because these friends ain't normal.
yeah, they're a little. I'm pretty lukewarm on them, if I'm honest. I barely remember they exist half the time until they're on the screen. I'm gonna be honest.
That's kind of interesting in its own way.
My brain just redacts them until they're on screen talking. That's the same thing with Yoriko and Yuki.
Alrighty then. Huh? What? What's going on? Where are we? This is the class trial grounds. Why are we here?
What's up with her?
It seems like she was taken out of her trance by my consolidation. But she seems to have lost some of her memory as a side effect.
I don't know, you just literally told her to forget what happened.
Yeah.
Like, you said that with your own words,
Yep.
Kanade. You said that in front of us.
Yes. Sis, Setsuka's dead. We need to do a class trial. Suga's dead? What's that supposed to mean? Just now. Wait. What do you mean by that? Suga was... No. It's alright, sis. Don't cry. I'll take care of it. From that confidence, I'm guessing that you already know who the culprit is? Kanade?
I see that everyone is gathered. Let's get started then. Take the elevator in front of you to enter the trial grounds. I'll be waiting for you down there.
So, here we go again. Damn it. I'm sick of this already.
We can continue our talk at the trial.
So the third trial will start soon. This case in particular felt like something was different this time. Maybe that was just me. We did our best to investigate every detail. All that's left is for us to find out the Blackened together.
Welp. Going a quick run through.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. We'll be fine. Deep breaths.
I don't want to die either, you know. I'll be doing my best in the class trial.
Setsuka. I'm scared.
Kanade is being interesting
Yeah.
right now. We have to do this. I don't know anything. Damn it. Damn it. Why can't I be like them? I know Kensho and Mikaru aren't here.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll figure it out.
We'll
Sora's
survive.
here, and so is Shobai.
Will we survive this trial? It's scary, but we can't run away.
We can't let there be any more victims.
Okay.
Hans has nothing to say to anybody.
Alright, do we want to make a cut here then?
Well, it gives us a save screen when we hit to the trial prep screen, so let's just get to
Okay.
that point. Let's go then, everyone. The elevator, as always, made heavy metal sounds as it slowly descended downwards. And like always, nobody says a word. As if it's an unspoken rule, we remain silent for now. I have no idea what the other students are thinking about at this moment. Or what the Blackened among us is scheming right now. This isn't the worst. This color scheme is okay.
Yeah,
Not the best, but it's okay.
It's pretty normal.
I hate the curtains on the entrance, but everything else I can deal. So you've come. Now hurry. To your seats. Off with it. Wow, what's the rush? Do you have any idea what time it is now? It's already nighttime. It's bad for your health to sleep late. So as your teacher, I'm trying to save some time.
Do you really think anyone here is worried about their health right now? How can the same person worry about their health in a life or death situation like this?
Move, hostess girl, and to your seat. We've got no time to waste.
What? What's gone into all of a...
Yoriko, calm down. We all know we can't just ignore that guy. Don't tire yourself trying to argue with him, and focus on the trial.
There's already 5 portraits, so there's only 11 of us left? And someone among those 11 will die in the spot. Well, granted, so we get the killer right, that is. Mom! Dad! Sis, stop crying. We need to find the baddie who killed Setsuka.
Setsuka's death must have been painful. To tear a person's body like it's a toy.
I cannot forgive such an act. Both Emma and Hajime committed terrible acts as well, but this went too far. We're not dealing with a culprit, we're dealing with a monster. How could you do such a thing to a friend that we bonded with?
Bro. I agree. We could always depend on Setsuka. If I knew this was going to happen to her, I would have tried to get closer to her.
You're crying.
That's who?
Everyone, we need everyone's help to find the killer this time. Whatever their objective may have been, we went too far. Let's avenge Setsuka's death. Very well. It seems like you're all mentally prepared. So let's start the show! Dead or alive, the third-class trial. Setsuka. The always caring, dependable Setsuka. We would have been doomed if it weren't for her support all this time. I don't know what we're going to do without you from now on, but for now, we will avenge you.
Yeah, Shinji has now a lot more on his shoulders.
Yeah. We will find the devil who made you suffer so much. Their identity will be revealed here and now. With everyone preparing themselves, we now stand on the path of life or death. Trial of life or death. Lies of life or death. Betrayals of life or death. The truth of life or death. The excuse of life or death. The trust of life or death. Life or death. Class trial.
Yes.
Yes. Because we will be doing the trial next.
Yeah. So.
Because the trial's so long.
Then.
And we get to fully voice it this time.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's no talking, Rina. It's just us talking this time, so
It will be a lot more oof on the vocals.
that is why we are stopping.
Yeah.
Other than what time it is, but yeah.
Alrighty then. Then we shall see you next time for the third class trial, which apparently is insanity itself.
Yeah.
So then, until then, goodbye.
Bye.